All right, everybody. Professor Clark here for our last installment of Rafter Math. Okay, my last video for Rafter Math. Again, I've talked about it. I gave you a fourth video, which is one more than you normally get up north. But when you're up north, you get to do examples on the board when we do the layout. And obviously, you don't get to do the layout. So I gave you an extra quiz to help you understand the math. And I focused it on jacks because jacks probably do the best job of helping us understand the geometry. Okay, the geometry is what's important, and we'll see that as we walk through how they help us do that. Okay, but once we solve for a couple things with our jacks, from there it's just determining the run. It's the run that really helps us understand the geometry, because what is the run? The run is the bottom leg of our triangle. Okay, of our big triangle, not our unit triangle. It's the bottom leg of our triangle in elevation. And again, what have we said many times? That run equals horizontal equals level equals plan view. Elevation equals plumb equals vertical equals elevated view. Okay. Again, those terms are interchangeable. And hopefully that's what we're talking about. They're interchangeable because we're talking about the geometry. Okay, and again, my jacks are going to do a pretty good job of helping me understand that. All right, now that being said, I am planning on making one more video of myself doing some layout up at the Granger building. Obviously, you can't do the layout, which is what's important. There's a direct correlation between these and this. Okay, that's true with absolutely everything we do. Once we do it several times, okay, we use our hands and body to do something. Our brain has a much better job, does a much better job of understanding that information. Okay, and that's why we have the labs we have up north. So you are welcome to walk through it with me. I invite you to do that. You're going to need a handful of 8-foot 2x4s and a framing square. Okay, I will actually probably build a roof line up there and just show you how everything connects together and how all of that works. But I will walk through the layout step by step. And I probably will require you guys to view it. Probably nothing other than that attached to it, just telling me that you viewed it, and then you'll get credit for it. Okay, and again, from there, the final exam, quote unquote, which is really our last math test, going through the math for both stairs and for rafters. Okay, and that, I've already talked about that too. I'm going to grade it to some degree, but don't panic, because I'm going to be very, very liberal with my grading, understanding that you guys don't get to be up there. All right, so moving forward with our jacks. Okay, first we did jack number 1, again to really drive home the point of the geometry. A, B, C, and run. Okay, and my run is the bottom leg of my triangle in plan. So again, what's my on-center spacing? 16 inches. So I should be able to see that I've got a 16 by 16 by 16 by 16 box. Okay, so my bottom leg of my triangle, which is level, which is horizontal, which is in plan, equals 16 inches. Okay, so 16 inches divided by 12 is 1.33 feet. Okay, now I solve for my unit triangle. Okay, I have a 12-12 pitch. My C of my unit triangle, A squared plus B squared, 12 squared plus 12 squared, 144 plus 144, so the square root of 288. You all do that on your calculators and you get what? 16.97. Okay, we've seen that number. Okay, why did we, what does that tell us? Where do we see 16.97? That's the bottom leg of the unit triangle when we're discussing a rafter that hits my top plate at 45 degrees, because we're dealing with a 45-degree triangle. Okay, whether it's at either one of these hips, any of these hips, or my valleys. We're hitting the top plate at 45 degrees, so we know we have a big, in plan, 45-degree triangle. Okay, the hypotenuse of a 45-degree triangle is always 16.97. Okay, here, our units are inches per foot, because we're talking about our unit triangle. Okay, so in elevation, that unit triangle, my units become inches per foot of total run. Okay, so again, understanding that geometry, 16.97 inches per foot. From there, so, well, first off, I don't ever have to solve for that again. 16.97 inches per foot for this 12-12 pitch. And I won't have to solve for my C at 45 degrees anyways, because we have all jacks. Okay, but, so we walk through and we solve for our A. A equals C times run. So that equals 16.97 inches per foot times my 1.33 feet. Okay, my 1.33 feet, that gives me 22.57 inches. And that equals 1 foot 10 and 9/16. So 1 foot 10 and 9/16. 1 foot 10 and 9/16. Okay? All right, everybody sees that? Now we solve for our B. B equals C times overhang in feet. So B equals 16.97 inches per foot times, again, what's my overhang? It's 20 inches divided by 12, 1.67 feet, because it has to be in feet. I get 28.34 inches, which converts to 2 foot 4 and 3/8. Okay, so 2 foot 4 and 3/8. Now, again, because I understand that all of my rafters are hitting the top plate at 90 degrees, and even if they're not hitting the top plate, if we continued on, we saw that square, we would understand that they would hit the top plate at 90 degrees. So I only have two choices with my jack. Okay, jack 3, does it have a tail? Yes, so it's 2 foot 4 and 3/8. Jack 6, does it have a tail? No. 0 foot 0 inches, my third option. Jack 8, does it have a tail? No. 0 foot 0 inches. And Jack 9, no. 0 foot 0 inches. Okay, so again, we know we've only got two options. Either it's going to be 2 foot 4 and 3/8 if it has a tail, or it's a cripple jack and it's going to be 0. Okay, so again, from there now, that means all we have to do is we have to determine the run, and then we have to solve for our A. Okay, so our A and our run for jack number 3. Okay, I should be able to just reason it out. 3 times 16 is what? Okay, but let's go ahead and look at it, because I've got 16, 32, 48. So 48 by 48 by 48 by 48 square. Okay, so my run is going to be 48 inches or 4 feet. Okay, so again, now all I have to do is walk through and solve for that A. A equals C times run. So that's 16.97 inches per foot times 4 feet. Okay, and that works out to 67.88 inches, which equals 5 foot 7 and 7/8. Okay, I only have to plug in the A. I've already solved for the B. Okay, all right. So moving forward, we go to our jack 6. Okay, and what do I see with my jack number 6? Where is my jack number 6? It's right here. Okay, my jack 6 right there. Okay, 16, 32, 48 for that rafter right there. Okay, does that length change as it goes up that 45-degree triangle and up this 45-degree triangle? No, it's a parallelogram, which is a square. Okay, if I straighten it out, so each one of those legs are going to be exactly the same. So 48, 48, 48, 48, all the way up to the top. Okay, until we hit an intersecting rafter, and then our rafter shortens. But we can see it in plan. 48, 48, 48, 48. Okay, we just solved for it. Do I need to solve for that again? Nope. 5 foot 7 and 7/8. Okay, again, all we need to do is understand our run. That's 4 foot, 48 inches. We just solved for it. So 5 foot 7 and 7/8 inches. Okay. All right. And now our tail starts becoming 0. Okay. So now we are on to jack 8. Okay. So jack 8, determining my run. Where is my jack 8? Jack 8, right there. Okay. All right, so we're going to have to look at this closely. I drew it out for you. Okay, so my Jack 8, same thing. My Jack 6 is 48 inches, right? All the way up. Okay, so I can see that my Jack 8 is right here. Okay, so there's my Jack 6 right, my Jack 6 right here, and then I move up to my Jack 8. What did I show you right there? I drew a little triangle in, okay? Hopefully you can see that. And what's the leg of that triangle? It's the on-center spacing. It's 16 inches. And what else do I know? That triangle has to be a 45-degree triangle. So both legs are going to be 16 inches. Okay, a 45-degree triangle just means that both legs are equal, and my hypotenuse is 16.97. So if that leg is 16 inches and this leg is 16 inches, I know I'm shortening that rafter by how much? Whatever my on-center spacing is. I'm shortening it by 16 inches because I create that little 45-degree triangle at the bottom of that rafter. Okay, so that means if I'm at 48 inches on Jack 6, Jack 8 is going to be 48 minus 16, which is going to be 32 inches. I'm just going backwards now, so 32 inches. Okay, I divide that by 12, 2 foot 8, 2.67 feet. Okay, now all I have to do, C times run, so 16.97 inches per foot times my 2.67 feet. Okay, if I were solving for all of these rafters at once, okay, if you remember from another quiz, we've already had that run. Okay, I wouldn't even have to solve for it again. But on this quiz I do. So I get 45.31 inches, which converts to 3 foot 9 and 5/16. So 3 foot 9 and 5/16. Okay? All right. So again, what's important here? Being able to determine the run. Okay, so our last one is Jack 9. So thinking about that same concept, I look at my Jack 9 and I can see that I've got a bunch of little triangles down there. I've got how many of them? I've got 1, 2, and then I hit my Jack 9. Okay, do we know the length of this common? Okay, and the length of that common. That common is the same as this common. The only difference is it doesn't have a jack. I'm sorry, it doesn't have a tail. Okay, that one has a tail, but that one doesn't. I've got Jack, 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 Jack all the way up. Then I hit a common, another common. What's the length of that common? Or the run of that common, I should say. It's half the span. It's 8 foot. Okay, so I see 8 foot, which is 96 inches. 96 inches minus 16 minus 16. Okay, that gives me 80 inches. Okay, then I have 80 inches minus 16. So 80 inches minus 16 is going to be what? I did this math already, but I'm trying to tell you guys. So 7, 10, 4 would be 64. So I've got 80, then 64. Okay. So again, walking that through, I've got 96 right there because that's 8 foot. 8 foot. That's 96. Then I subtract 16. That's 80. Then I subtract 16 again because I have those little triangles. So that's 64. But my rafter goes from here to here. So now I got to go back over here at 32 and minus another what? 16 inches. So 32 minus 16 is 16. 64 minus the length of that little rafter right there, 16. Okay, so 64 minus 16. Minus another 16, I get what? I'm doing this right now. 8, 48. No, is that right? Okay, I don't think I did that right, guys. Okay, 96 minus 16. That's 0, that's 80. Minus 16. That is 7, 10, 4, 64. Minus 16. That is 5, 14, 4, 8, 48. Okay, so it's 48 inches. Okay, all right. Hopefully everybody followed that. Not going to redo the video. Okay, so again, 96, 80, 64, okay, all the way then minus another 16, 48. Okay, so we've already done it. All right, so it is 5 foot 7 and 7/8 inches. Okay, all right. So